Hey, so yesterday I put out a video about the rumor that TenCent might be interested in acquiring the Dungeons & Dragons IP from Hasbro. I said in the video that I thought there was a reliable source. Turns out I'm probably wrong about that. Looks like I got pranked. So in this video, I'm going to go into why that source might be suspect. I'm Dave, this is the one and only RPG Rundown, and this video is...
TenCent, D&D, and me. Pranked.
So to recap, there's a news aggregator site in China that is targeted at an English-speaking Western audience, and that is called Pandaily. That news site, in turn, got this scoop from another news site called speed-daily.com. And that site, which is written in Chinese, so I had to use Google Translator to read it, but it turns out that site's source that they cited was Snow Panther Finance and Economics. Now, I watched a video on the Roll for Combat channel who originally scooped this and has been talking about it because the guy who runs that channel, Stephen Glicker, a few weeks ago speculated on almost exactly this scenario about TenCent and Larian and Hasbro and D&D. Well, that Pandaily article says almost exactly what Stephen Glicker was speculating about a few weeks ago. To wit, Hasbro may want to sell the D&D intellectual property to someone else for a cash infusion because it doesn't produce a lot of income for them, but it's very valuable as an asset. So they're in a lot of trouble right now. This could help them out. But this specific way that it works out, that Hasbro would approach Larian, the makers of Baldur's Gate 3, that Larian would say, well, we don't have the capital to do that, but we have an investor who does, which would be TenCent. That specific sequence of events is exactly what Stephen Glicker kind of predicted. And he's been saying, what is going on? Am I Nostradamus? How is this exactly what I said it would be? Well, today, Roll for Combat released a video where Stephen Glicker is talking to another YouTube content creator, Baron DeRopp, who runs the Dungeon Masterpiece channel. And DeRopp looked into all of this because apparently he's very good at some sort of investigative reporting or what have you. What he discovered, though, is that Snow Panther Finance and Economics, if it's a company, isn't much of one. It doesn't have much of a history. Their suspicion now is that this was an AI-generated post from Speed Daily that got picked up and aggregated by Pandaily. That's, remember, the English-speaking, Western-targeted Chinese site that first broke all of this. They're even speculating that maybe, just maybe, because it so exactly matches the scenario that Stephen Glicker laid out, that this Snow Panther Finance source actually just is an AI that scrapes transcripts from YouTube. And because Stephen Glicker speaks in a fairly intelligent way about finance and seems to use the correct terms in the right way, the AI engine picks this up and prioritizes it as someone who is an expert on this. This probably has value. This is probably a thing. So it puts it in this kind of shotgun style AI aggregator. It just throws tons of things at the wall in hopes that something sticks virally. And in this case, it hit a very specific niche, our niche, the tabletop role-playing and especially D&D niche, and so it took off and went viral. But it doesn't appear to have much weight. Again, Snow Panther Finance seems to have almost no verifiable presence as a company in the country of China, and Baron DeRopp couldn't find any more information to see if they were legitimate, couldn't find any more sources from them that seemed authoritative, so it's quite possible all this is a big prank. It's an interesting one. It certainly sent all of us D&D people into a tizzy. Oh, another thing I have to correct is that I said that the story was that Hasbro wanted to sell the entirety of the D&D IP. Really, that wasn't clarified. What kind of IP deal they wanted to strike wasn't really clear. It could have been just the video game, the right to make video games in perpetuity or until the license is sold or whatever, just to Larian. Whatever it was isn't clear, and now we're seeing might not even be real. So, hey, you win some, you lose some. At least it's been interesting, and it's caused us all to think about the future of D&D and what could happen with Hasbro's stewardship of it. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. Have you heard anything else about this? Do you have better information than I do? Please let me and everyone else know. And until next time, may all your 20s be natural.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Of course, it always helps us out if you like and subscribe. And check this video's description for a link to a few other cool things from Game Talk Network. Links to other channels in the Game Talk Network, like the Board Game Rundown, the Miniatures Rundown, and the Lorcana Rundown. A link to our Patreon for the Game Talk Network, where RPG Rundown is one of the pledge levels you can select. And a link to our GTN Discord server. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
And until next time, may all your 20s be natural. Or C flat. Ha!